Ladies and gentlemen, we are out here surviving the Northern California weather and all the rain that's been hitting this area the past couple of days. Welcome back to today's show. Hopefully we can get some redemption today inside the Paulie Davis Pavilion here at the Red Bluff Outlaws. Yesterday we missed the open A main event, had some things go south throughout the night, and unfortunately we just weren't able to show the speed that the red 18T had. And as a race car driver, I always talk about how you have to have short-term memory, so that's what we're doing. Yesterday's behind us, and today is a new opportunity. Gonna strap in here in just a couple of moments and head out for qualifying. We're early. The racetrack is pretty wet and greasy. I really think they tried to work it throughout the night in between our races to make sure that, you know, they didn't have to touch it too much throughout the day. Just let it start super wet and then kind of work its way towards harder and slick. Qualifying is complete. Ended up going out early tonight, and you know, I'm not really sure. I don't want to make an excuse basically saying that it was worse, but I do think the later we went out, the better the track got, just by, you know, a very small margin. Ended up 7th quick out of 32 opens, so that is now going to line us up second row inside for our heat race, and they are going to be transferring the top 2. All this water on the ground and all the rain. See, we've been dragging it into the building, and that combined with how much they worked it to start the night, like it's fast, it's quick, and I think it's still getting better, and it's going to be getting into the heat. So we're going to see some lightning quick 8 laps, and we're going to have to basically, you know, be up on the wheel and do everything we can to try and transfer to start farther up front tonight's A main event. Happy with my car. Feel like I got through turns 1 and 2 great. Need to work on 3 and 4. I don't know if it's myself or I just almost get a little hop into turn 3s. I'm trying to get rotated, and I think maybe I just need to get in a little harder and get more wheel spin to drive through it, because I just lose corner speed to the center and then I get off good. But that's, you know, that's a 10th right there, that mistake, that small mistake on corner entry. But anyway, now it's time to race. Get out there, try to go forward. Starting 3rd and ran 2nd and transferred directly into tonight's A main event. The onboard footage and the footage from the grandstands do not do this place justice, how intense those 8 laps were. At one point I fell back to 3rd, then I got into 2nd, and I was faster than the leader. But it's difficult when the track is so quick around the top. Where do you go to make a move? You just as easily can take yourself out of the transfer spot trying to win the heat race. So you almost got to try to like halfway block, halfway not, and just kind of use the whole track sometimes in second just to secure that last transfer spot. And sure enough, that's what we did. Well, about to strap in for the dash. We got the 4 in the redraw, so we're going to be starting second row outside position. And this is basically going to determine the lost one position there in that quick 6-lap dash. That is now going to put us starting second row inside for tonight's 30-lap feature. Really impressed with, you know, where the racing surface is at. It's pretty smooth. It's even developing like a tiny bit of a curve in a couple of locations, and it's fairly racy, you know, even though it's on the faster side of things. When you look at the bottom, it's definitely more juice than the top, but then the top's got that banking, which is where you can just carry more speed, but both lines are there, and you know, we're kind of noticing where the track's in a point where you can swap between the two, which in my opinion is best. You know, it's no good to watch a race where everyone's running the same line the whole time. It's neat when guys kind of start getting dicey and move around and make things happen, and it's constantly changing, you know, throughout the course of an A main event. So we'll have to see. We have a couple more shows until we're up, but it's probably not going to be too much different than what it looks like here behind me. So excited to be rolling off from up front and try to see if we can stay up there and contend. Well, we are about to roll out here at Red Bluff to finish off our 2-day show from the 3rd starting position. One of the most interesting things I've ever seen here, and this is so rare, it's actually building up a cushion in turns 3 and 4, and a little bit in 1 and 2, but I didn't get as good of a look at that end. 3 and 4 though, from center off, like for an Outlaw Kart, it's got a good ledge. Now whether you can use that ledge, that's where it gets more difficult, because you got to be really good at running against it, and you got to have a lot of wheel spin, so that almost creates a little bit of a different line, because if you want to run the top, you got to sail it, and you can run higher, or you can try to choose to run off of it, maybe be a little bit tighter like normal, more around the crease. I think the same main event could have a little bit of a different element of racing, as that's 3 different grooves between the bottom, right above the crease, and then into the curb that any driver could run. So throughout the race, we're just going to kind of have to see how it changes and what all the guys around me are doing, and then also what I find out there myself. So gonna go strap in, really looking forward to where we're at. Think we got a great shot at winning. We just got to try to stay up front in contention and put ourselves in the right spot at the end to be in victory lane. everything, I hate to say it this way, but everything kind of really went to hell this weekend here at the Red Bluff Outlaws. DNF'd that A main event. Went downhill really quickly on the start. Ended up, you know, originally being second row inside, and then we had the absolute big one coming off of turn 4 on the first lap. I need to watch a replay before I even comment, but it was just crazy how unfortunate the events went for us. I know that I was kind of a little bit crossed up on the bottom. Racetrack, you know, was hit and miss grease because, you know, we're bringing so much water in. So for the first couple of laps, kind of, you know, the track was just weird. But yeah, so I got a little sideways and I went to grab the clutch to try to get the tires spinning to get forward and not lose, you know, too much momentum. And all of a sudden I felt someone hit me in the right rear as I was also kind of wheel standing and going to the right. Like I was kind of moving into their lane, which I didn't want to, but my front wheels were off the ground, and then I just felt someone stick me in the back bumper, and I absolutely KO'd the front stretch wall. And from there I went to the back, and I honestly thought that, you know, man, my car was hurt a little bit and it was going to be difficult to move forward, but actually a couple things went my way. I found myself back all the way up to 5th and just, you know, outside the top 4, kind of battling for the win. I was in a good position and had to restart on the bottom, which was just killer. Like it just, you know, I mean, if everything went your way, it was okay, but for the most part, you lost spots. So lost position, kind of was back to maybe 7th-ish, and made contact with another car and lost the chain. So unfortunately, I don't have one good thing to say about this weekend. I'm gonna get out of this weather, as it's not good either. Yeah, this place is harsh. That's really all I can say about the Red Bluff Outlaws. It's harsh. It can be so rewarding, but it can also be so depressing, sad. Just makes you feel some types of ways. So anyway, see you guys all in the next one. Thanks to Jimmy. Thanks Factory QRC. Love those guys. Just wasn't our weekend. See you all in the next.